my brother. He is.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Jikook Moments. At first, it seemed like just another casual live, chaotic, full of laughter, Jungkook being completely unfiltered. But a few minutes in, everything shifted. That night, Jungkook wasn't just joking around. He showed something he rarely reveals: exhaustion, pressure, and a quiet confession that left millions speechless. He admitted that without people watching, he wouldn't know what he would be singing for. It stopped feeling like a live stream. It felt like a heart speaking by accident. The broadcast began without a script, without a mask. Jungkook appeared warm, impulsive, and almost too honest for someone of his global status as a member of BTS. He encouraged a friend beside him who was singing, praising him sincerely, "You're really good. Talented." When the friend hesitated, Jungkook teased him gently, calling him shy and volunteering, "Then the older brother will sing." The mood was playful, full of laughter. He explained he was with a friend who lives with him and his older brother. In his thick Busan dialect, he proudly praised their voices, even saying they deserved to debut. The pride in his voice wasn't about himself, it was about the people around him. He stumbled over words, mixing up younger and older brother, laughing as he corrected himself. He tried speaking English, then shyly asked if it sounded bad. When told he should sing because so many people were watching, he refused. "I've been singing this whole time." He wanted the atmosphere natural. No stiffness. No fear of the camera. He kept encouraging his friend, asking viewers for virtual applause. He shared that his friend would start learning music in March and that he'd join vocal lessons with his own coach. "I'm not a teacher," he said. He just wanted to grow together. Then the energy turned slightly chaotic. He joked about his brother singing while smoking, quickly telling him to put the cigarette out. Realizing he was live, he laughed nervously. He admitted he wasn't sure anymore what needed to be filtered. He just wanted to feel comfortable. He spoke honestly. Even if he were tipsy on live, he would still be himself. He knew his words could cause controversy. He knew the company might worry. But he asked, "What's wrong with being myself?" Beneath the laughter, there was visible fatigue. When smoking came up again, he admitted he used to smoke often but is now trying to quit, and succeeding. He joked he might get called in tomorrow because of the broadcast. He laughed, but the exhaustion felt real. Then, suddenly he opened his heart. He said he wants to sing better, dance better, and listen to more music, not because of family or someone close. If he were as good with words as Namjoon Hyung, he said, maybe he could explain it better. He admitted he struggles to organize his thoughts. He looked frustrated, quiet, and then he said it. If no one were watching, he wouldn't know why he sings, dances, writes songs, or works so hard. He does it because there are people waiting for him. After saying that, he seemed to regret it. He worried the clip would spread. He apologized. "I'm just a normal person," he said. Sometimes his emotions overflow. He even joked about haters watching. "If you are, thank you for the attention." This time, the laughter felt calmer, more mature, almost resigned. Near the end, he mentioned an upcoming comeback with BTS. This time, they would do what they truly wanted. It might not meet everyone's expectations, but they were preparing something incredible. It was nearly 5 a.m. He had a schedule at 9. His brother kept telling him to sleep. Then, in a small moment of chaos, the elevator emergency button was pressed by accident. He quickly apologized to building services and joked he might get fired tomorrow. Finally, with tired eyes but a lighter heart, Jungkook thanked viewers again and again. He promised to go live whenever he felt like it, and he hoped everyone would sleep well. At first, we truly thought it would just be a fun, messy live. Slightly tipsy, full of laughter, random jokes, Jungkook swearing freely and laughing loudly like always. We thought, okay, this will just be a chill night. No wait, no hidden meaning. But then, something shifted. Not dramatically, just subtly. A pause in his smile. A gaze that lingered too long. Suddenly, it didn't feel like simple entertainment anymore. The atmosphere settled. Softer. Heavier. As if there was an emotion that almost escaped but stayed suspended in his breath. Throughout the broadcast, it felt like he wanted to say something. Not something bad, quite the opposite. Something warm. Something that filled his heart. There was a tremor in his voice, like someone who has held onto a beautiful secret for too long and can barely keep it in. Maybe it's just intuition, but it felt like someone was in his heart, as if he wanted to be honest, to share, because he's not very good at hiding what matters to him. Maybe the timing just isn't right yet, and above all, he looked tired. Not fragile tired, but pressure tired. Endless rehearsals. A comeback ahead. The weight of global expectations. The spotlight that never turns off. Imagine carrying that. Maybe that night he just needed to breathe. Needed to be human, not an idol. And for a few minutes, we truly saw him. Not a performer, not a global symbol, but Jungkook, raw and honest. That heart-to-heart moment hit harder than any laughter. And in the middle of all that emotion, there was adorable chaos. Security almost got called in the middle of the night for no clear reason. He swore without filter, free, spontaneous, messy in the sweetest way. And that's exactly where his authenticity felt the strongest. Let's talk about the details. The cross necklace he wore that night. Not flashy, not announced, but familiar. The way it rested against his neck, the way he touched it occasionally, it echoed someone else who also treats a necklace as part of their identity. Not proof, not a statement, just resonance. And the rings. He wore several rings on both hands, on different fingers. But there was one he kept touching. On his ring finger. On the same hand as his J and T tattoos. He twisted it, slid it slightly, touched it repeatedly like someone trying to calm themselves. Maybe it's just a habit. Maybe it means nothing. But the way he did it felt intimate. Like someone holding on to a thought. Or onto someone. We're not claiming anything. Not calling it proof. But when you combine the emotional tone of that live, the I want to say something energy, the symbolic necklace, the ring constantly touched on his ring finger, it makes you pause. Because with them, things rarely feel completely random. Sometimes love isn't announced with words. Sometimes it exists in a piece of silver hanging quietly from a neck. Or in a small circle slowly turned on a ring finger. Maybe we're only seeing what we want to see. Maybe there are 100 other explanations. But if one day he truly wants to speak, without pressure, without fear, we just hope it happens in freedom. Not as an idol. Not as a symbol. But as a man who can finally say, "This is my heart." That night ended without a grand announcement. Just a man behind the massive name of BTS trying to be honest with himself. Maybe we're reading too much into it. Maybe it was all coincidence. But if one day he's truly ready to speak, we know one thing for sure. That heart has already tried. If you also felt that something was different that night, share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for the next analysis.